guys, I'm Melissa and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's Weight Loss Wednesday video, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 easy tweaks that you can make to your diet that will enable you to fast track your weight loss goals. Now, if you're new to my channel, I share a lot about calorie density, which is, I believe, the key to long-term sustainable weight loss. And ever since I learned about calorie density, it really was mind-blowing and it made so much sense to me. And I love that it enables you to eat until you're comfortably full without counting calories, weighing or measuring your food, portion controlling. It is all about eating whole, natural, plant-based foods ad libitum until you're full. And for me, that just made so much sense because it's something that I can do forever. It's not something that feels restrictive to me, and it's something that makes me feel my best. So I am sharing it with you in this series. And if you haven't watched the other videos in this playlist, I will put a link in the description box of this video so you can learn more about calorie density there. So these 3 tips that I'm going to be sharing with you today are 3 easy ways that you can kind of systemically reduce your calorie density without putting too much thought into it. They're just easy little tweaks. So the first one is to not drink your calories. When you are drinking a juice, for example, you are removing the fiber, which is what is filling up your stomach, which is what is sending signals to your brain saying, hey, we've received food, we've received fullness, we're good. So I've got a little Bill Nye the Science Guy example here for you. And so here are 3 apples. 3 apples are about 285 calories. Now this is 1 cup of liquid. Which one of these do you think would keep you more full? 1 cup of apple juice, which is about 3 medium-sized apples, or if you were to fill your stomach with 3 entire apples with all of the fiber content. This is going to fill you up so much more. Obviously, I'm not saying that every time you want a glass of juice, you should go and eat 3 apples, but it's just to kind of represent the difference that it makes. If you're drinking 1 cup of apple juice, it's not a big deal, but it's about the choices that we make consistently. Consistently choosing a juice over eating the whole natural fruit is going to make an impact on your overall consumption of calories, and this is going to mean that you're still hungry. What do you think the odds of you wanting to go and eat a bunch of junk food or consume a bunch of calorie-rich foods and deep-fried foods after you've eaten 3 entire apples? Your stomach is going to be full. You're going to feel satisfied. I do love smoothies, and I highly recommend smoothies, especially when you add in lots of greens, but smoothies have the fiber still in there. It's all blended up, so it is easier to consume because you're not actually having to do the work of chewing, but at least the fiber and water are both in there. You already know there are so many benefits to drinking more water, but if weight loss is your goal, I highly recommend choosing water over juices or any other sweetened, calorie-rich drinks that are not going to really make you feel full at all. All right, the second tip that I want to share with you, and this is a great way to systematically reduce the calorie density of your overall food intake without really having to make any extra effort. And it is to add in greens wherever you can. Now, I am pro at this. I really have made an effort to train myself to do this. Anytime I'm making a meal, I always find a way to throw greens in. So when I do dips, I love like hummus type dips, black bean dips. I just take a handful of arugula, blend it all up. Once you add in lemon and spices and flavors, you barely taste that there's greens in there. I'm honestly, I'll tell you a little secret, I'm not a huge fan of sitting there and eating a salad. I find that salads are boring. I mean, sometimes I'll go for a salad, but it's just not my favorite food to eat at all. So I find ways to get greens into other meals. So almost every time I make a smoothie, I will throw in a handful of spinach. When I make soups, at the very end, when the soup is hot, I will put in a handful of spinach, and the steam and warmth of the soup will lightly cook it. Now, if you've learned about calorie density, you'll know that the lowest calorie density food you can get is dark leafy greens at about 100 calories a pound. Now, picture a pound of spinach or a pound of lettuce or a pound of arugula. That's a big amount of food, and there's only 100 calories in all of that bulk. So anytime you're adding greens to your meals, what you're essentially doing is systematically diluting the calories of those meals, but you're not reducing the fullness in your stomach because it's still got that fiber, it's still got water content, and it's gonna still provide that bulk in your stomach to get you full. This is such an easy tweak to do, and something that I recommend to just make it easier on yourself is get a box of pre-washed spinach. Get something that is really easy for you to literally just grab a handful of and throw it into your other meals. I recommend doing whatever it takes to make it easier on yourself to remember to reach for those greens and throw them into your meals. So maybe you'll put a sticky note on your fridge to say, add your greens, exclamation mark, smiley face. And I haven't even mentioned the nutritional factor of greens. Obviously, dark leafy greens are so healthy for you. I highly recommend getting your greens. All right, tip number 3 is for you snackers out there. If you find that you have a sweet tooth late at night, or you just have these cravings where you're really craving junk food, chips, cookies, cupcakes, candy, whatever it may be, I'm gonna say don't deprive yourself. If you find that it's just too much willpower and it's really hard for you to say, no, I'm not having any, then I challenge you to eat something that is full of fiber and full of water before you indulge in that dessert or in that snack. So don't say that, no, I'm not allowing myself to have it. If that doesn't work for you, then be honest with yourself. So for example, say you have Oreos in your pantry and you're like, oh, I could just eat a whole row of Oreos right now. I could make a cup of tea and dunk them in there and just, polish off that whole bag. I'm craving Oreos. If you feel like it's just not doable for you to say, I'm never having Oreos again, I'm not gonna allow myself to ever indulge, then fine. But what I recommend you to do is to eat an apple first. Eat something that is full of fiber and full of water before you indulge in your dessert or your snack. Something else you can do is maybe have some baked potatoes on hand and put them in your fridge, or some boiled potatoes, or something filling, something that has the fiber and water content in there. Now, I'm not saying that you're gonna eat the apple and you're gonna say, oh, my craving for Oreos is completely gone. That may happen, but what's gonna happen is you're not going to overindulge in the Oreos because you have that feeling of satiation from eating a food that is full of fiber and water and bulk, something that is just a heavy filling food like an apple or a potato or a sweet potato. So maybe you'll have 3 Oreos and you'll be like, I'm full, instead of eating an entire row. Now, doing this for one day might not make a huge difference to your weight loss, but all 3 of these little tweaks, if done over time and consistently, and if they become your new norm and your new habits, they will have an impact on you. They will have an impact on your weight loss goals, and they will really help you achieve them faster and enable you to stick with this new healthy lifestyle. I am going to put notes on everything I just said in the description box of the video. If you want to copy and paste them so that you have these reminders, you can feel free to do so. I'm also going to put some really helpful links about calorie density in the description box. These are webinars and informative videos that were super helpful for me, and I highly recommend them. Check them out, take some time to learn about this, and I hope it's helpful for you. All right, have an amazing day, guys. I will see you in my next video. Be sure to subscribe, and if you're not yet following me on Instagram, it is at MelissaAlexandria01. I'll see you there. And I don't know about you, but I'm craving an apple right now.